Good afternoon. Here's what's making news. It's Tuesday, the 20th of February. Breaking details. A woman and child found dead soon after a man's body is discovered in Sydney's northwest. The multi-billion-dollar boost to get Australia's Navy ready for future threats. Australian WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange prepares to launch his last-ditch appeal against extradition to the US. And how the Matildas plan to fill the boots of Sam Kerr heading into their next Olympic qualifier.
This is 10 News First Afternoon with Narelda Jacobs.
Hi, great to have your company at 3:30. First to some breaking news, and 3 bodies have been found in shocking scenes in Sydney's northwest. Police have confirmed a man's body was found in Balcombe Hills late this morning. Sometime later, 2 other bodies, believed to be a woman and a child, were located in North Parramatta. Homicide detectives are investigating whether the 2 incidents are linked, with forensic officers working through multiple crime scenes. And we'll have the latest on that investigation in Sydney's 10 News First at 5 p.m. Also breaking this hour, the CEO of Virgin Australia has confirmed she's stepping down from the role. Jane Herdlicker made the announcement a short time ago as the airline announced a return to profit for the 2023 financial year. It's also reported a strong start to 2024. The airline has commended Herdlicker for steering it through a period of administration, as well as the COVID-19 pandemic. A statement says the company's board will shortly commence a global search for a new CEO. A huge shift for the Australian Navy today. The government has announced an $11 billion funding boost to create our largest fleet of surface warships in nearly 80 years. An entirely new class of 11 frigates will be ordered, with the first to go into service before the end of this decade. New missile-carrying drone ships are also being planned, while our oldest of our Anzac-class frigates will be retired immediately. Orders for 3 new Hunter-class frigates and half a dozen patrol vessels will be cancelled.
Those ships, in combination with the 3 existing air warfare destroyers, will take our surface fleet of warships to 26. And it is the largest fleet that we will have since the end of the Second World War.
This will be the largest surface combatant force we've operated in generations. It will also be, in time, the most lethal.
This plan from Labor is superficial and has serious flaws. There is no larger strategy, there is no urgency in this government's timeline, and the money is mostly outside the forward estimates and into the next decade.
The government says the new plan will guarantee nearly 4,000 shipbuilding jobs in Adelaide and Perth over the next decade. The Prime Minister is defending his Home Affairs Minister after a border security breach along Western Australia's remote Kimberley coast. Let's go live to our federal political reporter Lucy Gray in Canberra. Lucy, what's the fallout?
Well, a long-standing political dispute over border protection has reignited after a boat of about 40 asylum seekers arrived undetected on a remote stretch of Western Australia's Kimberley coast on Friday. Opposition leader Peter Dutton claims it was able to reach the mainland undetected because funding cuts have seen some surveillance flights suspended. There is some evidence to suggest this has occurred in the past due to under-resourcing and maintenance issues, but it's a claim both Labor and the boss of Australian Border Force himself have strongly rebuked. They say funding for the agency under this government is the highest it has ever been. Now, Home Affairs Minister Claire O'Neil made her first media appearance on radio this morning after the boat's arrival on Friday. When the PM was asked if she'd been missing in action over the weekend, he had quite a strong response.
Minister O'Neil has been available, was on Radio National this morning, doing serious interviews. What she hasn't been doing is what Peter Dutton's been doing, which is just making things up.
You know, she's an angry person, and that's okay.
This is the second boat to arrive on the WA coast in recent months after a similar incident back in November. The government is reportedly considering a new border security funding package in the upcoming May budget, and that money would go towards upgrading the current Operation Sovereign Borders fleet.
Lucy Gray there. In just a few hours, Australian WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange will make a last-ditch legal challenge to prevent his extradition to the United States. The two-day appeal hearing in London's High Court starts tonight Australian time. The 52-year-old faces 18 charges in the US with a combined sentence of 175 years if convicted. Assange is accused of publishing highly classified information on the Afghanistan and Iraq wars. Some of the material exposed war crimes committed by the US military. Assange's defence lawyer, Jennifer Robinson, spoke to 10 News First a short time ago.
So if we're unsuccessful this week, he very well could be extradited to the United States. He's never been convicted of a crime. He faces criminal prosecution in the United States for exercising his right to free speech, for engaging in journalistic activity, and he shouldn't be in prison in the first place. This entire case should never have been brought. And the fact that he's going to spend potentially either be extradited to the United States or spend a number of more years in prison is just unacceptable.
This appeal is the last option available within the British legal system. If Assange's case is unsuccessful, his team will have to apply to European Court of Human Rights to prevent his extradition. That's considered an exceptional measure, and it's not guaranteed. Queensland Police Commissioner Katarina Carroll has confirmed she will step down from the top job 4 months early. Her decision comes amid growing youth crime and crisis talks with frontline officers who fear for their safety. Carroll's contract was due to end in July, but as she announced her early departure, she denied being a scapegoat.
This morning, I have advised the Minister that I will not seek an extension to my contract as Commissioner. I will finish in my role next Friday, March the 1st. I don't feel like a scapegoat. I would love to have had the conversation with the Minister in my time, which is fine. I don't want the distraction for the QPS. I just want people to concentrate on what we have done, what we have achieved, and what we need to do.
Carroll became the first woman to take on the role in 2019. There are several deputies now in the running to lead the state's police force. Taylor Swift's private jet is on its way to Hawaii after flying out of Sydney this morning. It's expected to pick up her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, with the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl legend, tipped to meet up with the superstar songstress ahead of the next leg of her Eras tour. While Sydney continues to be soaked, Swift says her concerts will go ahead, rain, hail or shine, kicking off on Friday. A supermarket worker is fighting for life after allegedly being assaulted on the job in Sydney's West. Security video shows the employee allegedly being pushed by a man as he tried to stop him leaving the store with stolen goods. Police say he fell back and hit his head on the floor. The 64-year-old was taken to Westmead Hospital, where he remains in a critical condition. Officers arrested and charged a 25-year-old man yesterday afternoon. He fronted Blacktown Local Court today. Traffic is back to normal now, but a police operation on the Sydney Harbour Bridge caused massive delays for commuters and motorists this morning. Around a dozen emergency service vehicles gathered in the middle lanes of the bridge just after 6 a.m. Queues were backed up for hours past the Anzac Bridge and through the Lane Cove Tunnel, causing extensive delays. The operation eventually wrapped up around 8 this morning. New research has found 6 out of 10 female umpires and referees are unhappy with the uniforms they're supposed to wear. The study conducted by Victoria University found the problem is in fact discouraging women and girls from entering the space. Those surveyed claimed sizing and the lack of practical features were the main point of concern. Many of them suggested their current uniforms were either designed for men or have a one-size-fits-all approach. An electric vehicle has been crowned Car of the Year for the first time by the Australian auto experts at Drive. The Kia EV9 electric SUV has been picked as the perfect family car and all-round winner for 2024. It also took out the award for Best Electric Family Vehicle under $100,000. The award is now in its 18th year, with judges saying they look for a car that moves the game forward for Australian new car buyers. The country's best-selling car, the Ford Ranger, was dubbed the best dual-cab ute option, over $50,000. Coming up, Alexei Navalny's widow vows to keep up his fight against Vladimir Putin. The search for survivors after a deadly landslide in Afghanistan claims at least 25 lives. Why tourists are being turned away from France's most famous landmark. And the very special milestone for one dedicated Macca's employee.
has all the news you need with 10 News First midday and the latest developments at 3:30. Then to get the full story, switch on Jen at 5 for your local Melbourne news.
Step One and Surf Lifesaving Australia have partnered to make these. A donation is made from every pair sold to help keep our beaches safer.
He's drowning! Swim between the flags, bro! Step one, get some!
Bruno's learnt the value of looking after his home and belongings. That's why he switched his insurance to Australian Seniors, the over 50 specialists, because they know how to look after him. With Seniors Home and Contents Insurance, he saved 20% when he combined his policies, and he chose a higher excess to help lower his premiums. With cover that really looks after you, life's not just good, it's booming. Get a quote today. Call Australian Seniors on 136043 or visit seniors.com.au.
Why do I like Tip Top the One?
It's like a soft cloud in my hand that feels really fluffy.
It's high in fibre, with protein, vitamins, minerals, so they can
learn how to speak possum language and breakdance like Travis. He's so good. He can do windmills.
And they eat every crumb. It's just...
Yeah!
Malcolm, calm down.
Yeah.
You've broken everything.
Where are we going to get the money?
Wallet Wizard! Fast and easy loans up to $8,000. Cash possible within an hour of approval. Repayments could be less than you think. walletwizard.com.au. I've been on telly.
Amore mio. A lovely hot bath. Perfetto.
What do you seek, Robbo?
I want to increase my salary to
$80,000. What do we think, people? All right, close your eyes and experience the secret.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
But all you did was use the seeker.
And I appreciate you.
The secret.
With better job matches than ever before. And you shall find.
Uncover timeless, healthy-looking skin with Olay Regenerist. Formulated with bioavailable niacinamide, it reduces the look of up to 10 years of wrinkles in 28 days for firmer, plumper skin. Olay, recommended by dermatologists.
Hurricane Kelly is about to blow this game wide open.
You can't dictate to me. You think you will try, but you will not.
A power play so unexpected.
I chose yesterday to make my own decisions.
I have absolutely no idea where that has come from.
It will catch everyone by surprise.
Oh, it's good fun talking to yourself.
She's just gone rogue.
Don't miss the Kelly Chaos tonight on 10 and 10 Play.
The widow of fallen Russian revolutionary Alexei Navalny has vowed to continue her husband's fight for a free Russia. Yulia Navalny is accusing the Kremlin of murdering her husband and is demanding Russian investigators release his body for further investigation. Overnight, the late opposition leader's mother was turned away when she tried to view his body at a morgue. Reports have surfaced showing he suffered extensive bruising prior to his death.
I'm Yulia Navalnaya. Today, I would like to address you on this channel. I should not be here. I should not be recording this video. Another person should have been here where I am now. But Vladimir Putin killed this man. By killing Alexei, Putin killed half of me, half of my heart and half of my soul.
Yulia is expected to meet with European foreign ministers later today in Belgium. Israel has launched at least 2 large airstrikes in southern Lebanon in its latest round of retaliation to attacks by Hezbollah militants. Israeli warplanes bombed 2 areas near Lebanon's port city of Sidon. At least 14 people have been wounded. Israeli authorities claim they blew up weapons depots. Meanwhile, United Nations doctors have finally entered the Nasser hospital in Khan Yunis, days after the IDF raided the facility. Officials from the World Health Organization say they're horrified by the state of it.
We were shocked what we actually saw in Nasser Medical Complex. There's waste everywhere. Electricity was not working. Parts of the hospital are damaged and some severely damaged. The central drugstore, which was the drugstore, actually part of Nasser Medical Complex, which delivered drugs and medical supplies to the whole of south of Gaza, destroyed.
180 patients are being treated there by just 15 doctors and nurses who are doing their best amid the catastrophic conditions. At least 14 patients needing life-saving treatment have been evacuated from the facility. At least 25 people have died in Afghanistan after a landslide triggered by heavy rain swept through a village in the nation's east. Many residents have been left homeless as the search for survivors continues. The province of Nuristan is prone to natural disasters. In 2021, dozens were killed in flash flooding in the region. California is bracing to be hammered by another wave of storms. Evacuations warnings have already been issued in Santa Barbara, with flood, strong winds and even potential tornadoes being forecast. While preparations are underway, any possible damage isn't expected to be as severe as that which was inflicted earlier this month. Those storms killed 9 people and caused hundreds of landslides. The European Union has launched a formal investigation into TikTok, focusing on potential breaches on rules around children. The probe will look into TikTok's handling of children's data and content, including age verification and privacy settings. TikTok faces fines of up to 6% of its global turnover if found in breach of the Digital Services Act. Apple is also under scrutiny, with the EU reportedly planning an $825 million fine over its conduct in the music streaming app market. Tourists are being turned away from the Eiffel Tower in Paris as staff go on strike. Barriers have been put up with screens advertising the industrial action. It's the second time workers have gone on strike already this year over the financial management of France's most recognisable landmark. Unions claim local government has underestimated maintenance and repair costs ahead of the 2024 Summer Olympics. They fear this could create safety hazards as they brace for an influx of visitors from around the world. Times are tough, but if you've got a lazy $45,000 lying around, a very special piece of history could be yours. This is a document signed by former US President Abraham Lincoln, appointing an anti-slavery campaigner. It was written just 4 days prior to his assassination in 1865. The letter was found by a woman in the Midwest in her desk drawer who believes her husband acquired it but doesn't know how. An Australian McDonald's employee has reached an impressive milestone, 50 years of continuous service. He's the longest-serving Aussie team member and he has quite the collection to show for it. Sophie Jacobson got to meet him.
We're here at McDonald's this morning and joined by a very special guest. This is George. George is celebrating 50 years at the company. George, can you tell me a little bit about how you started working at McDonald's?
Well, I started at McDonald's in Collingwood, which is Victoria Parade. That was the third store open in Melbourne. I went with my mum to have a nice coffee and lunch, and then the manager came out and asked me, "Are you enjoying your food?" And I said yes. He took me inside to do a tour, and I loved it so much I was asked to have a job, and it just took on from there. And the week after I started.
Wow, so 50 years is a long time. How many McDonald's have you worked at in all those years?
I've estimated at least 30 to 40, but my favourite is McDonald's in Northland, Epping, Greensboro and Littledale at the moment as well.
So can you tell me a little bit about your role at McDonald's? What kind of things do you do?
In the old days, I started to be a cleaner. I stepped up to management, and then I started training managers and staff. I went to different stores. We grew so fast. At the moment, I'm customer service, and I look after customers to make sure I keep them happy. There's no complaints, and whatever they need, we deliver to them.
Now, we were at your house earlier today and we saw your large collection. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
That is my pride and joy. I collect stuff every time there's a different promotion, and when I go overseas, I collect stuff from overseas, and we share the Aussie stuff to them as well.
Wonderful. Now, we've got a little meal here. What's your favourite thing to eat at McDonald's?
Big Mac and fries always, with a Diet Coke.
Wonderful. Well, cheers to that.
Cheers.
Congratulations on 50 years.
Thank you so much.
Up next, a look at the weather with 10 News First meteorologist Josh Holt. The Matildas gear up to take on Uzbekistan in the Olympic qualifying series, but who will fill Sam Kerr's boots? And here's a little look at what's coming up in your 10 News First bulletin at 5.
In Melbourne's 10 News First, a probe into the collapse of the state's power system during last week's extreme weather. Future-proofing Australia's Navy with $11 billion for drone ships and combat frigates. Julian Assanges' last-ditch legal attempt underway in the UK to stop his extradition to the US. And the world's most advanced artificial heart being developed in Melbourne.
Can one of Australia's biggest TikTok sensations
This is a dream come true.
win Melbourne's biggest giveaway?
If this goes well, we are so going viral.
Find out 6 o'clock tonight.
When you're both earning an income and enjoying life, you don't think about getting sick or injured. But since I broke my arm and couldn't be on the tools, the bills like the mortgage, electricity, groceries, they don't stop. Thankfully, we did something simple to protect us before I got injured. We got real income protection insurance.
We've made it even easier for more Australians to protect their day-to-day with real income protection insurance. There's no medical or blood test required to apply. Just call our Australian-based team and you can cover up to 70% of your income, up to $15,000 per month, which gets paid to you if you get sick or injured and can't work. After 12 months, you'll get 10% cash back of the premiums you've paid with the Real Reward. Plus, claiming is stress-free with our dedicated claim specialists. Get real income protection insurance now. It's simple financial protection from a company you can trust. For a quick quote, call 139 125 or search Real Income Protection Insurance.
Easy on yourself.
An ordinary brush can leave more plaque behind, Lara. Well, plaque can lead you here paying for cavities.
That's why I switched to Oral-B Electric and Taste. Its round brush head remove up to 100% more plaque. Don't let cavities make you pay.
Summer is Step 1. Step 1 body shorts. Anti-sweat, anti-chafe, anti-ride-up. Do life better. Move better. Step 1. Buy online at step1.life. Get some.
In advertising and media, it's all about who you know. Says who? Advertising industry careers. In-depth company profiles, career growth tools and first-hand knowledge of the industry at your fingertips. Visit Advertising Industry Careers.
Moving home? Don't do it alone. Need some space? We know a place. For every stage of life, Storage King has hassle-free storage solutions. Store before the end of Feb and get 1 month storage free. Storage King, the kings of storage, moving and more. Conditions apply.
Do you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be signs that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. It traps and removes waste from your gut and helps lower cholesterol. Join the Metamucil 2-week challenge now.
When Brian had a serious accident, it was a really close call. Everything changed. We were just getting so caught up with the daily grind. But the whole experience made us stop and focus on what really matters in life. And for us, it's our family. So we did something simple to protect our future financially, even if the worst did happen to one of us. We got real life insurance.
It's easy to protect your family's financial future with real life insurance. Simply call our award-winning Australian-based team to apply. Once covered, your family could receive a cash payment up to $1 million if you're diagnosed with a terminal illness or pass away. And with the Real Reward, you'll get 10% cash back of the premiums paid after 12 months. Get real life insurance now. It's multi-award-winning financial protection from a company you can trust. For a quick quote, call 139 519 or search Real Life Insurance.
Easy on yourself.
Join us as our next journey begins on 10 and Paramount Plus.
7 o'clock Saturday. The unmissable Olympic qualifier. Combat Matildas, Uzbekistan. Live 7 o'clock Saturday on 10 and Paramount Plus.
Welcome back. You're just in time for a check of the weather with 10 News First meteorologist Josh Holt. And Josh, wild weather has continued across parts of Sydney.
Good afternoon, NJ. That certainly has been the case. We've had a trough of low pressure sitting off the east coast of Australia. That has been driving some very heavy showers in and across parts of Sydney. As you can see, looking very soggy in recent times. You can hardly make out the Harbour Bridge there. In fact, parts of Sydney's eastern suburbs picking up 66 millimetres to 9 a.m. this morning. Since then, a further 20 millimetres has fallen into the rain gauge. As we check out the satellite picture, you can see that cloud cover hugging the New South Wales coast. And of course, ex-tropical cyclone Lincoln still lingering through the northern parts of the country. Here's the radar through Sydney. As you can see, those dense black echoes in the radar representing that heavy rain, which has now swept to the southern half of Sydney. Let's move into tomorrow on the synoptic pattern. Ex-tropical cyclone Lincoln will continue to move west as a frontal system just clips the southwest of WA, a high over New Zealand. Rainfall tomorrow will be confined to the northern parts of Australia, and we should start to see a bit of an easing trend in terms of the rain through eastern New South Wales. Capital city, shower or two for Brisbane and Sydney tomorrow. Mostly sunny, 33 for Melbourne. A sunny and hot day for Adelaide, 35 to the top as we get through Wednesday, 30 degrees and partly cloudy skies for Perth. But of course, NJ, all the local weather details coming up in the news at 5. We'll see you then.
Thanks for that, Josh. Let's get some afternoon sport. And as the Matildas prepare for the Olympic qualifying series against Uzbekistan, they say Sam Kerr's absence could present an opportunity. The team knows her long-term injury will leave a hole in the side, but are viewing it as a chance for someone else to step up. The Matildas aren't sure what to expect when they play Uzbekistan, with the two sides having last face-off in 2007.
I think it gives us a good opportunity to focus on ourselves and what we need to do in order to be successful in these games, and I think sometimes that is a positive. Obviously it's a team we don't know too much about, but we'll watch some video in the coming days.
They'll head to Uzbekistan for the first leg of the two-part qualifier on Saturday. Game 2 will be held at Marvel Stadium in Melbourne next week. And you can stream all the action live and free on 10, 10 Play and Paramount Plus. To the AFL, and it's all love over in the Pies camp. Their newest and fiercest rivals, the GWS Giants, have made it very clear Collingwood will cop a lashing when the two sides battle it out in round 0. But the Pies' drive is coming from positive vibes only.
The style of football we want to play is enjoyable and fun to watch. We feel like we can bring a lot of people along to the games and put on a good show for our fans and supporters. But more importantly, we have really fun doing it.
The Crows have made some additions to their leadership group. Wayne Millara, Lockie Murphy, Darcy Fogarty and Mitch Hinge all elevated, while Jordan Dawson will lead the side for his second season. To the NRL, and the second lot of bunnies has been released from their hutch on their way to their Vegas season opener. Captain Cam Murray was noticeably missing. He'll fly later in the week to remain close to his baby daughter, born last week. Tom Burgess was among those boarding today, speaking highly of the US opportunity.
I've actually played a game over there in the States, in Denver, 1 year with England against New Zealand. It was really good. Had a really good time. The American crowd loved it, really got into it. So to be able to go and play the first NRL game there is going to be really exciting.
Meanwhile, in Brisbane, departures, the Dolphins are en route to New Zealand ahead of their practice match against the Warriors on Saturday. That'll be the big trial to see who partners Sean O'Sullivan in the halves, with Isaiah Katoa and Cody Nikorima fighting it out for the round 1 spot. To cricket now, and Australia's T20 team puzzle slowly falling into place. It's becoming harder to work out where Steve Smith fits. T20 captain Mitch Marsh today revealing their top order is pretty set. He'll bat at number 3, as he's done for the last 18 months, with Travis Head and David Warner opening.
And obviously Heady and Davey Warner have been amazing for us over the last period of time, so I dare say that'll be the top 3.
Smith would be an unlikely feature in the middle order, which is already stacked. Australia takes on New Zealand in the first of 3 T20 internationals tomorrow night in Wellington before the sides play 2 tests. And that is the latest news for this Tuesday, the 20th of February. It was lovely to have your company for 10 News First afternoon at 3:30 and also at midday today. I will see you at the same time tomorrow. And then for the latest tonight, join the team at 10 News First at 5 and then Deal or No Deal with Grant Denyer before The Project at 6:30. So until we see each other again at midday tomorrow, have a great afternoon. Bura.
Previously on Neighbours.
And that's